Okay, everybody, we're in one more game for the Xbox 360, and it's Jeopardy! Time to put my knowledge to the test.
This is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex CRIMEAN.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories: Brutus, annual events, celebrity siblings, L to pay, This Is Your Life, Abe Lincoln, and Elementary. Player 1, this president loved oysters, and an annual oyster festival takes place in his hometown, Oyster Bay, Long Island. Let's hear it, Player 1. That is correct. Player 1. Conceived by store employees, this department store's beloved Thanksgiving Day parade debuted in New York City in 1924. Yes, Player 1? That's it. Player 1. Dolls representing the Emperor and Empress occupy a place of honor during this Asian country's Girls' Festival. Okay, Player 1? No, sorry. Any other takers? Yes, Player 2. Right. All right, let's get back into this. Player 2 has control. In 2005, during the annual festival named for him, a statue of this Roman god was dedicated in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Yes, Player 1? No, sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? The correct response is Neptune. Select again. Don't miss the pie eating contest at this Northwest States Apple Blossom Festival in Wenatchee. Yes, Player 1? Good. Yeah! Great, you're back into it now. Player 1? He penned the immortal line, "The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves." Let's hear it, Player 1. That's correct. Player 1. In this 13th century work, Brutus is described as suffering in the lowest pit of hell. Let's hear it, Player 1. No, sorry. Anyone else? It's Player 3. Right. Player 3, make a selection, please, as we continue. This Greek biographer of parallel lives suggested Brutus was Julius Caesar's illegitimate son. Yes, Player 1? Right. Player 1? Answer? The Daily Double. Here's your opportunity to clue. Brutus joined a conspiracy to assassinate Julius Caesar that was led by this man. You have maintained your lead. Way to go. You again. During the Roman Civil War, Brutus sided with this man, but was later pardoned by Julius Caesar. Oops. Yes, player 1? Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? The correct response is Pompey. Please pick again, player 1. Gridiron stars Peyton and Eli. Player 1? Yep. You again. Music makers Branford and Winton. Let's hear it, player 1.
Yeah!
Player 1. Actresses Meg and Jennifer. It's player 1. Right. Player 1. Filmmakers Joel and Ethan. Yes, player 1. Good. Please. Figure skaters Sarah and Emily. Yes, player 1. Yep. You get to pick again. The Bible tells us of this element being beaten into plates, cut into wires, and worked into the clothing worn by Aaron. It's player 1. No, sorry. Any other takers? Okay, player 2. That is correct. Player 2, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? It shouldn't take much effort to tell me this. Gordon Brown's political party. Let's hear it, player 1. You got it.
Yeah! Woo!
Take me to this reinforced section of fishing line where the hook is attached. Yes, player 1? Yes. Affectionate name for critters of the genus AGAPORNIS. It's player 1. Right. Most lower back pain is in the area of the 5 vertebrae classified as these. Let's hear it, player 1. That's correct. Player 1. Bath sponge that's really a type of tropical gourd. Player 1? Yes. You get to pick again. Pu. But this element, 238, doesn't stink. It powers pacemakers. Let's hear it, player 1. You are correct. Player 1. I know Bernard Courtois discovered this element in 1811. Let's hear it, player 1. That's correct. You again. The Kennedy Space Center has used this gas, atomic number 54, in high-intensity lights for night landings. Player 1? Nope. Sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 2. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Player 3? That is correct. All right, let's get back into this. Player 3 has control. This ductile, non-radioactive element has an atomic weight of 26.98. It's player 1. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's what we were looking for. Aluminum. Select again. In 1870, Congress granted her an annual pension of $3,000. Call her Sugar Mama or simply your wife. Here's... Let's hear it, player 1. Right. Player 1, you said of this general, I can't spare this man, he fights. He sure seems to be enjoying the green room. It's... Okay, player 1. That's right, way to go.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 1. In 1860, he got 12 electoral votes, but you got the job. Feel free to debate. Player 1. That's it.
Yeah! Woo!
You again. You said if this general is not using the army, I should like to borrow it for a while. Say hello to... Let's hear it, player 1. Nope. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 2. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Any other takers? It's player 3. Good. Here's the $1,000 clue for you. Secretary of War for Franklin Pierce, some called him Mr. President, though certainly not you. Say hello to... Yes, player 1? That's correct. Player 2 is in third place and will select first in the Double Jeopardy round, as we always do, right after this break. Clues are worth $400 to $2,000 in these categories. The Deep Blue Sea. Geology. The Quasi-War with France. Yo, Holmes. TV producers. And familiar phrases? Player 2, where do we start? The Fairmont in this city's Nob Hill was the exterior used for Aaron Spelling's Hotel TV series. Let's hear it, player 1.
Yeah!
Right. Player 1. David Chase created this HBO series and wrote many of its episodes, like Mr. Ruggiero's Neighborhood. Yes, player 1. That's correct. He moved from Melrose Place to the East Coast for Central Park West and Sex and the City. Yes, player 1?
Yeah!
Yes. Player 1? Answer. The first of the 2 daily doubles. You are in the lead. And the daily double clue. In 2003, this Survivor head honcho began conducting a search to give Donald Trump an apprentice. Congratulations, you're still in first, player 1. You again. He probably has another 6 or 7 Law and Order offshoots on his desk just waiting for network slots. Okay, player 1. Correct. Player 1, choose again. Heading southeast, the Yucatan Channel between Mexico and Cuba leads into this sea. Yes, player 1? Correct. You again. The Romans called it Mare Nostrum, our sea. Let's hear it, player one. Yes. Player one. Astrakhan, Russia is found nearest the shores of this large sea, which is really a salt lake. It's player one. That is correct.
Yeah! Woo!
Player one. It's found on the southern end of the Suez Canal. It's player one. That's it. You get the Crimean Mountains contain prominent cliffs found on the northern coast of this sea. It's player one. Good. Select again. Financially, it's the colorful opposite of in the red. Yes, player one. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's what we were looking for. In the black. A celebrity charity that auctions off designer outfits to benefit kids is called These Off Our Back. Let's hear it, player one. No, that's not right. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? It's player three. You are correct. Player three, start us. Poet who gave us "You're a better man than I am, Gunga Din." Okay, player one. That is correct. Player one. Answer. The other Daily Double. You are in first place. How much are you going to wager, player one? Answer. Slaves once dreaded being sent to the harsh plantations of the lower Mississippi, hence to sell someone here. That puts you even further ahead. Player originating in 1844's Settlers in Canada, this phrase about rowing a boat means to decide your own fate. Yes, player one? No. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's what we wanted. Paddle your own canoe. You get to pick again, player one. The Mercalli scale measures the intensity of these from 1 to 12. Let's hear it, player one. You got it. Geysers aren't common. Major centers include Yellowstone, Iceland, and this country's North Island. Player one? That's right. Way to go. This rock can be formed by the accumulation of shells or coral, but not from citrus fruit. Okay, player one. Right you are.
Yeah! Woo!
Player one. Here's Kelly. She'll show you.
Made from minerals deposited by dripping water, these geological formations grow up from cavern floors.
Player one.
Yeah!
Player one. A 6-mile-wide caldera or volcanic crater is a highlight of La Palma in this Spanish island group off Africa. It's player one. Correct. Player one. On June 21st, 1798, this president told Congress he was going to break off relations with France. Player one. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 2. Right. Player 2, you start us off. Preparations for war included adding ships like the USS Constitution, nicknamed this in the War of 1812. Yes, player 1? Right you are. USS Constellation beat both La Vengeance and L'Insurgente in this sea, where the U.S. enjoyed a home field edge. Let's hear it, player 1. Yeah, good. Player 1. The rally cry of the Americans during the fight was millions for this, but not 1 cent for tribute. Player 1? No. Anyone else? The correct response is defense. You again, player 1. In an 1891 story, Holmes solves a mystery concerning a league of men with hair of this color. Player 1? Yes. Player 1? In October of 1797, the United States met with agents of France known by these 3 code letters. Okay, player 1? Hey, you're right. Player 1. This dogged Sherlock Holmes novel was published in 1902. It's player 1. That is correct.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 1. The Napoleon of crime. He attempts to kill Holmes at Reichenbach Falls. Yes, player 1?
Yeah!
Hey, you're right. Player 1? It's the great detective's London address. Let's hear it, player 1. You got it. And the last clue for $2,000. Holmes is outwitted by a woman in a scandal in this Central European kingdom. It's player 1. Good. Sorry, player 2. Looks like you will not be continuing on to Final Jeopardy. Consider your wagers carefully as you think on this category. Economics? What are you going to wager? Now it's time for the Final Jeopardy clue, and here it is. In 2007, this 18th century professor and writer became the first Scotsman to appear on an English banknote. Did you come up with the correct response? And that will cost you. Did you come up with the correct response? How much do you add to your total with that correct response?
Well, the next segment.
You've come out ahead as our champion, player 1. Thanks for playing, everybody. See you next time.